in saying, Rahul Verma, that Madhya Pradesh may have a disproportionate importance at times. It is the largest state that's going to the polls today. But it is also...
In terms of area, it's Rajasthan.
Sorry?
In terms of area, it's Rajasthan.
In terms of... but in terms of 230 seats and in terms of Lok Sabha, 29 seats on offer, Madhya Pradesh seems to have become a kind of real battleground state in this election, also because perhaps what happened in 2020, the way the government was toppled, will that become, in a sense, a determinant of how the BJP and Congress see their future in the Hindi heartland?
See, for BJP, Madhya Pradesh is much more important in comparison to the Congress. The reason being, when you were saying the 3-1 kind of thing, the probability of Congress getting 3-1 is high, but it's not the same for BJP, because BJP is not in fight in Telangana at all, and in Chhattisgarh they had given up. So for BJP, the crucial states are actually Rajasthan, where they were thinking they will have a win, and if they convert Madhya Pradesh, then they are in a good shape, right? Last time they didn't have any, and if this time they have two, then that becomes really, really important. Second reason why Madhya Pradesh is important, as I've been saying, it basically is going to tell us whether Madhya Pradesh has become a dominant party state or not. If BJP wins Madhya Pradesh this time, then Congress coming back to Madhya Pradesh will become really, really hard in foreseeable future.
That's an interesting point. Yes,
no, Rajiv, I just want to come in. What's interesting is, I want to give you a story, because what happened was, if you remember 2020 when the government fell in Madhya Pradesh, to bring in DK Shivkumar and Madhya Pradesh, if you remember, the MLAs were taken to Maharashtra. And at that point of time, there was DK Shivkumar as well as Jitu Patwari who were in charge. And that time, Karnataka hadn't happened. And I remember I was anchoring here and I was patched to DK Shivkumar, and he wasn't that big at that time. And I remember him saying, now DK Shivkumar is here, he'll make everything okay. And that's what he said earlier. And I was like, this kind of bluster, because he wasn't on the scene at that point of time. But and he camped outside that resort.
Before Gujarat arrived for the BJP in a big way, Madhya Pradesh used to be the original, Madhya Bharat was the original girl of BJP and Bharatiya Jansangh. So it's a real heart of India. I think it's a lot of psychological impact would be there. If BJP loses out Madhya Pradesh, then that would mean that in the heartland also they are not so safe and secure. I know obviously the theory is given 2018, but every election is different. So would be 2024 would be wide open.
Let me bring in Ashok, but it's very interesting. Kamal Nath told someone a few days ago, I am going to make sure whatever happens, we win Madhya Pradesh. He's made it very personal. The manner in which his government was toppled, he said, Ek din bhi ho, lekin sarkar to banani hi hai.
No, but that also means if he loses, the extent of disappointment is that much higher, because he's never really been a state-level politician. He's always largely done his politics at the center. It's only after the last assembly elections, and particularly after his government was toppled, that he really doubled down on state elections in Madhya Pradesh. And if the polls are correct, it's going to be a very bitter disappointment for Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh, and potentially the end of their political careers as well.
Never write off the... you're right that, they are both septuagenarians, all of that. Though Kamal Nath, if you meet him, says, Abhi to main jawan hu. Whenever I ask him, is this your last election? He said, last election? Abhi to main jawan hu. He's got that sort of spirit of that old style.
Sorry? He's the king of Chhindwara. He'll be voted back in as
the problem is Chhindwara is not Madhya Pradesh.
True.
So we're going to have to see, particularly since our poll says Gwalior, Chambal and Mahakoshal. Mahakoshal, which is where Chhindwara is, and Gwalior, Chambal is where Pradeep Gupta's poll is suggesting a huge swing. But Ashok, you wanted to get a word in.
So just two things. One, Madhya Pradesh in many ways, even ahead of Gujarat, is a very important bastion historically for the BJP and the broader Sangh Parivar. So a loss in Madhya Pradesh would actually be very, very damaging for the broader Sangh Parivar. So retaining Madhya Pradesh for them is very, very important. I'd also like to take you back to 2018 Madhya Pradesh and 2017 Gujarat. Both those elections were very closely fought. In one, the BJP lost narrowly. In one, it won very narrowly. In Gujarat, 5 years later, the BJP began what it thinks is a new cycle. It won a huge victory. The BJP would hope to repeat that here and begin a new cycle. And the third point, the integration of the Scindia faction with the BJP has not been smooth at all. If this result is achieved today, as Pradeep Gupta predicts a clear and forthright victory, then that integration would have been achieved.
But there's something much bigger at stake as well. The future of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, there were enough indications from the BJP top leadership that they wanted to look beyond Shivraj Singh Chouhan. But if you end up at 140 plus, which is what the India Today post-poll study is suggesting, then he's emerged as a leader to reckon with in his own life.
I'm sorry, I disagree.
Quite a bit
At 140, it's easier to have a transition than at 101 or 150.
Yeah, that's going to be a matter of dispute. But, Rahul, you mentioned Shivraj Singh Chouhan. If he wins today, he becomes a 5-time CM. And that is huge. I don't think barring Nitish Kumar, I'm not sure any other chief minister of North India
but I disagree
has been
with
sworn
Ashok,
5 times.
I'll tell you why I disagree with you. Because if at 140, Shivraj Singh Chouhan helps the BJP sweep Madhya Pradesh and you mess with him and you change him, you run the risk of jeopardizing what may happen in the Lok Sabha election 2024. And given the importance of the Lok Sabha elections for Messrs. Modi and Shah, they're unlikely to want to risk it.
I agree. They will not see.
It's a very big panga.
Don't disturb a good thing.
So what you're saying is theoretically correct. But
If you have to have a transition, it's easier at 140 than at 120. That's all I'm saying.
If there is no Lok Sabha.
Yes.
I think, see,
Lok Sabha is
leadership selection in India in last 15-20 years does not happen on the base of popularity, but what the central command of any party decides, right? And whether it's 120 or 140, if they're going to consider leadership popularity, that's only one factor. What the top people think is going to be the day.
No. That just means that's too simplistic reading of the situation. The top people also are cognizant of the message in the mandate, and if the message is a sweeping victory, it becomes very difficult to change the incumbent chief minister. That is disrespecting the mandate.
Absolutely.
And nobody is living in political la-la land. They're very conscious of the mandate. If it's 105, 110, 115, you can say management or electioneering ka chunav. If it's 140, apart from everything else, Ladli Behna, the chief minister's own popularity, Mamaji's connect with the masses, all that is a factor. It's very difficult for any party before the next Lok Sabha elections.
Sure.
After the Lok Sabha elections, I don't know. But till the Lok Sabha elections, to mess with that mandate is fraught with risk.
I tend to agree with you, Rahul, on this, particularly because also Shivraj Singh Chouhan is OBC. In the times in which we live, OBC politics, and you will see this play out in many of the northern states, is going to become more and more important. Not easy to remove him. If you do, you'll have to find another OBC leader who's equally charismatic. There are a couple. Mr. Patel is one of the names. Whether that happens today or 6 months down the line, we don't know. But you're right, that's one of the intriguing questions that will be there. What happens to Shivraj Singh Chouhan if the BJP wins big? He's the last leader, in a sense, from the Advani-Vajpayee era, the last appointment of a chief minister from the Advani-Vajpayee era who's still around. So fascinating what you're saying, what happens to Shivraj Singh Chouhan.
Scindia as well. Vasundhara Raje
No,
Scindia.
but who's still chief minister at the moment? Let's go to Vasundhara Raje Scindia, because that's the other big question. Rajasthan. That could be our super over, according to most pollsters. We've got Nabila Jamal in Jaipur.
You know what's happening, Rajdeep, in Rajasthan is that the Rashtriya Loktantrik Party of Hanuman Beniwal has been contacted by the Bharatiya Janata Party because the BJP is concerned that if they're short of a mandate, which is a full majority, they need to be able to ally with some of the independents and smaller parties. So a lot of that
2019, Hanuman Beniwal fought with the BJP and then he moved out of... but only 3 seats is what the last election that the RLP actually got. If you look at the last election...
But even 3 seats could make a difference. True. Hanuman Beniwal apparently has told people,
go with Vasundhara Raje.
I am ready to support BJP, but no Vasundhara Raje.
Will not go with Vasundhara.
So that's the way, a journalist of Rajasthan has made a fascinating point to me. He said Rajasthan could be heading for hung because both major parties put ego before party. If Ashok Gehlot had accommodated Sachin Pilot, the Congress would have been in a great position. If the BJP had given Vasundhara her due, the BJP would have been in good position. So you've actually got a situation in Rajasthan where the possibility exists of will one party cross 100 or not, or will both parties be stuck in the nervous 90s? That's the question in Rajasthan that's being asked.